Don't mind the glasses. I know they're a little goofy looking, but my eyes are so dry right now, and they're for me looking at the computer. I don't want to mess my pretty ass eyes up, okay? So what's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about signs that a man is never going to come back. You probably want to know that, so you don't waste your time or not. If you haven't, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. I will love you forever and ever, ever, and ever, ever. I will love you with all my heart, okay? As much as I possibly can. Along with the little bell notification so you get my videos right away. So jumping right into this. Number one. And I think this is the most common sense one, but I don't know. That's just me. And it's the fact that he's not going to come back if there's no more benefits to coming back. Now, what do I mean by that? I always talk about, I say it in all my videos now, assets versus liabilities. The pros and cons of coming back around or dating you. And even though you might have all these pros, okay, whatever pros or liabilities, whatever the list conveys, they're not all weighed the same. So while there might be a lot of, maybe you're good looking, maybe you're good in bed, maybe you're pretty cool and chill to talk with, besides the fact that he pulled away, whatever reason that's for, or the reason he did it. If there's liabilities involved, okay, that, again, liabilities tend to weigh more than the pros. So for example, you can have all these great things, but if he's not looking for a relationship and he feels the pressure, he's going to see that as a liability where it's not even worth it, because at the end of the day, what are you going to do? I'm just not looking for the same thing as you, and this shit's going to happen again. Okay, so a lot of the times a guy feels like if there's no benefit to coming around, I'm not going to come around. And I think this is one of the most accurate ways to decipher if a guy's going to come around or not, because the number one reasons a guy pulls away to begin with is you guys are on different pages or too much pressure. Okay, so if he feels there's too much pressure, he might be hesitant to come back around despite all the pros of having you around. Now, number two, the relationship probably ran its course. Okay, now how do you know this? In my opinion, I say it from the guy's perspective, you could tell when the guy's just not showing interest. Now, when I say that, a guy is always going to show a lot of interest in the beginning, and it is going to die off slightly, because what's important in a relationship is sustainability. So I want you to look at it from this perspective, okay? If it goes like this and then it dies off a little bit and you're in that sustain mode, that sustainability mode, you guys have your baseline and he starts to fall below that baseline, he starts to care. He's just caring less. He's just not as optimistic about the relationship. It's probably boring, redundant. It's feeling routine. He's taking it for granted. And once you start seeing these signs, which usually are him not investing his resources, time, energy, effort, money, and things like that, it probably ran its course. It ran its course from just a logical perspective when he just doesn't feel like it's worth putting the effort in anymore. And if he's not, it's probably because he's thrown in the towel. It's basically where a guy's given up, okay? So and number two, I want you to understand that there's a sustainability aspect. Your baseline, again, your baseline is always going to go like this, up and down. You're going to have good times. He's going to be fucking horny. He's going to want something from you. You're going to do something right. You're going to build attraction. You're going to limit your red flags. So it's always going to go up. But then it's going to go down. He's just kind of feeling blah. He's not feeling it. Maybe you show some red flags and it's like this, okay? But there is a baseline, and once on average he falls below that baseline, something's up. Now, number three is he's not going to want to open Pandora's box. This kind of goes back to the assets versus liabilities thing. Despite you having all these great things or additions to being with you, sometimes the number one reason a guy does not come back around, Okay, well, number 2 reason maybe is he doesn't want to open Pandora's box. He knows that his actions are telling you. Now, again, you have to take this into context. If he's pulling away because of pressure, he's going to be much less likely to come back around because of the whole Pandora box thing, or opening a can of worms, whatever analogy you want to use. He knows that his actions are telling you that things are different. Because the girl has a like bias, she's going to have hope in some way, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, that when a guy comes back around, oh, maybe I can change him, or here's my chance. Maybe he changed his mind, or maybe he thought this, or maybe he misses me, and now I got the power. Guys don't want to come back around and convey that, hey, I changed, unless he says so. Hey, I changed my mind, things are different. Let's let's try to work this out. No. He doesn't want to do that, and he feels that his actions of coming back around are conveying that to you, and that's not what he wants to do, okay? So if he originally pulled away because of pressure, he's going to be less likely to come back around because he doesn't want to paint that picture for you that he probably made a mistake and painted before, okay? Which is why there's pressure to begin with. Now, number 4, confrontation and accountability. When it comes to coming back around, I don't know how it ended between you two, but he doesn't want to come back around and be held accountable or confronted for his actions. Now, this could be in 2 ways. Negative and positive. Negative meaning he ended it bad. Maybe he just pulled away. He didn't give you good closure or clarity, or you guys got in a fight or something like that. And then he comes back around and you're ripping him a new one. Why are you doing that? Are you going to do that bullshit again? What kind of person does that? What's wrong with? He doesn't want to hear that. Okay. Secondly is more of the positive aspect, which is you guys did end on a decent note, right? He explained himself. He says, hey, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not wanting a relationship and things like that. And then he comes back around and he doesn't want to be, bombarded with questions like, are you changing your mind? How do you feel about me? Did you ever really like me? And guys just don't want to come back around and hear that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean it's not deserved. Doesn't mean the woman doesn't deserve the answer. Okay, doesn't mean that the woman does not deserve the answer. Most of the time, a huge majority of the time, she does. I'm just speaking from the perspective that the guy doesn't want to come around and hear it again. Okay, and finally, lastly, number 5, he has somebody else. Someone else is in the picture. A lot of the times when a guy doesn't come back around, okay, because if he does, there's benefits, but the benefits are weighed out by the liabilities. But if he can get those benefits from somebody else, because he pulled away from you, so he's in a mindset of He's in a mindset of, okay, I'm detaching myself from not only you but this situation. I know the effects of that, or I know the consequences of that. Giving up the benefits of being with you. But if he can get those benefits from somebody else, why would he come back around? The only reason he'll come back around is if they did not work out, and you're now what I call pre-qualified. Meaning he needs to fill that void. He failed with you and him, and he failed with him and her. You're pre-qualified. If he's the one who pulled away, he knows you still like him. You're probably wondering what's going on, hence why you're watching this video. And he's going to come back around for the benefits, okay? Doesn't mean he wants a relationship, but you're pre-qualified. It's going to be easier to have something with you because you guys have jumped through the loops. You have had the talk. You have hooked up. You have met plenty of times. You have had something prior. You admitted your feelings to him. He doesn't have to go through all that bullshit again, and you guys jump through the loops. You're pre-qualified, okay? So with that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care. Again, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. Get my value course if you want to avoid this altogether. Build Attraction Academy course down in the description. I love you. Take care and peace.